Welcome to The Rundown, the show created by students who love sports for students who love sports. I'm Jackson Carter. Here beside me is Brandon Smith, and this week we are focusing on you, Tiger Nation.
Tiger Nation is a campus-wide organization dedicated to supporting Ouachita athletics through increased promotion, student attendance, and campus engagement. If you are a member of OBU community in any capacity, then you are a citizen of Tiger Nation.
Here with us today is the undisputed vocal leader of the organization himself, Mr. Tiger Nation.
You may know him from history class,
but more importantly than that is the man behind the mic at both football and basketball games.
Here he is, Dr. Casey Modal. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today, guys.
All right. Most students at Ouachita have a basic idea of what Tiger Nation is, but really, would you just describe what it is behind the scenes and that, Tiger Nation is an actual organization on campus?
It is, Jackson. We've got a small student leadership team who's responsible for doing a lot of the promotional work for the various sports that we have here on campus. We're also heavily invested in planning the week that precedes the Battle of the Ravine football game against Henderson State every fall. And just anything that has to do with promoting athletics, expanding awareness, and getting students to show up and support their team, that's pretty much what the Tiger Nation student leadership team does.
There you go.
All right, and we also spoke with a student that is heavily involved in the organization. Senior Patrick Krause had this to say about Tiger Nation.
I would say our objective is to raise awareness about what's going on. Like I said, not a lot of people know about the games that are going on, who is playing, and we're trying to just get people psyched up for these games because, maybe on a Saturday you don't know what's going on, but there may be a baseball game going on, and the baseball team is actually really good, and they actually were down 12-2 last week, and then they came back and won 14-12 against, I think it was Harding. And so they're actually a great team, and they're a lot of fun to watch, and that's a great group of guys down there playing. And so I think our mission is just to go and make sure that everyone knows and that people on campus can get involved with sports, and that athletics is not just something separate at Ouachita, but it's something that we want to integrate with everyday life at Ouachita.
Football player Ugo Clary, a senior defensive end from Walkerville, Texas, certainly believes in the importance of Tiger Nation.
What Tiger Nation means to me is that it's really just a support system for all student athletes. It feels good to go out there and see all your fellow students and your teachers and classmates and everybody just kind of cheering you on and encouraging you, and it helps you play better. It helps you go out there and with a little bit more enthusiasm, and it feels good to know that somebody's got your back. Being at a small school, we're all technically a big old family here, and we see each other in the hallways, and we see each other on campus or in class, and so it feels good to go out there and see your fellow classmate playing in a game, and you know who that is by name, and you get to cheer them on, and it gives you that much more enthusiasm about it, and helps you make you want to go to the game more. So it definitely helps bridge the gap, and definitely helps help Ouachita become more of a big old family.
Although students are important, student athletes are the main reason Tiger Nation exists. Without them, the organizations would not have a purpose. Dr. Modal, obviously you have student athletes in your class. What do you have to say about what student athletes do to this university?
Well, student athletes occupy a unique role in that they represent the university in their capacity as athletes, and yet they're responsible for all the obligations that any other student at Ouachita would have to undertake. So, in my view, they work twice as hard as any non-student athlete on the campus, and because they are part of the representation of the university to an outside audience, supporting them is critical for the image of Ouachita to the external constituency.
All right, Dr. Modal, thanks for joining us. Be sure to go on Facebook and like the Tiger Nation Facebook page, and follow them at Twitter at Tiger Nation OBU. Let's send it out to intramurals with Mitchell and Tyler.
Welcome back to the third installment of the intramural segment of our show, The Rundown. We have a real special show for you this week, as we've done statistics and standings, as well as made predictions for who we think is going to win in intramural basketball this season. So we're going to go ahead and start with giving you our standings. Me and Tyler have done some work. Tyler, how do you think the guys are going to fall out this season?
All right, Mitch, here are my standings. As far as Upper League, I have 4 teams in the tournament. Follow Me, Bloodbath and Beyond the Arc being the Middle League team that sneaks in, Young Money, and Rutgers Park Rejects. Now, I really like Follow Me as the favorite in that tournament. As far as Middle League, I really like the Monstars, and I have Petrino's Biker Game close behind them. What about you, Mitchell?
I'm similar. In the same way that I have Follow Me, Young Money, Rutgers Park, and Bloodbath as the 4 teams that will make the Upper League tournament this year. I think that Bloodbath has a big challenge in front of them as they will get to show their skill in the upper league against these high-quality teams. But I still see Follow Me as the favorite, as I predict that they will go undefeated this season. However, looking at the Middle League, I see two major teams to look out for. Monstars, as you've said, and then Beta Black. I feel like those two teams are the teams that are going to make runs for the championship this season. So Tyler, we've given you guys our standings. Now we want to give you guys an exact prediction of who's going to win each championship this season. Let's start with men's upper league basketball. Okay. Who's going to take it?
Well, Mitchell, I think that the upper league champion will indeed be Follow Me. I think they're too athletic, they have great size, but really because of players like their point guard, A.J. Williams. He's fast, he's quick, he's a great distributor, he's a great ball handler, and his leadership will help them take the crown. What about you, Mitchell?
Well, in all honesty, I agree with you, Tyler. I got Follow Me as the champions in the upper league. The main reason, 2 words, Coach Johnson. The man's played collegiate sports before. This team has a swagger about them. They've already been there before. They don't think anyone can stop them, and I predict them to take the upper league hands down without any competition. So we've given you the upper league championship here. Now we're going to move on to the middle league. Tyler, who do you have in the middle league championship this year?
Well, Mitch, we may have some disagreement here, but I have the Monstars taking the Middle League Championship. These guys have grown up playing basketball together. They've all played a collegiate sport here at Ouachita. And when I say these guys are athletic, and it's no joke, their point guard, Andrew Davis, he broke the record in high school for most goals in a season by a freshman. And their post player, Jesse Stone, just received a scholarship to play quarterback here at Ouachita. So these guys, they're no joke.
Well, Tyler, I am slightly biased and I have to disagree with you, but I, no joke, have Beta Black winning the Middle League Championship this year. The reason for this is not because I play for Beta Black or because I'm biased in any way. If you take a look at the team, they've played 2 of the top upper league teams this season and they've lost by a combined total of 5 points. You got players like Chad Emmons, who's a football coach here at Ouachita. The man's 200 pounds of nothing but muscle, benching 315. He's a force. He's made his own personal promise that no one will get to score in his paint. I think that the Monstars definitely have a shot. They are athletic, but I think that they're shallow. There's only 6 guys on the team. They have no subs. I think that Beta Black is deeper, and I think that they want it more, and they will win the Middle League Championship this season. So finally, we're going to look at our girls. Tyler, why don't you go ahead and give us your standings for how you think the girls are going to finish up this season?
Well, Mitch, I feel like the women's upper league is really a 2-horse race with Powerhouse in front with eHardcore right behind them. I don't see anybody catching Powerhouse. They have players like Emily Sinclair, who's a golfer here. She's extremely athletic. She's their point guard, and she plays great defense. Also, they have Liz Webb. She's the assistant basketball coach here, and I really feel like her vast basketball knowledge will put them over the top.
I agree with you in the fact that I do think it's a 2-horse race. I feel like Powerhouse is the team to beat. But I think that a lot of people have already overlooked eHardcore, and I think that they are a team to beat. I think that they have a great coaching staff and that those 2 teams will be neck and neck going into the tournament. So Tyler, if you had to give me a prediction now, who is going to win the Girls Upper League Championship this year?
Well, Mitch, I would have to say it would be Powerhouse. I don't see eHardcore catching them. I think they have a good team, but I think that Powerhouse is just too athletic.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to disagree with you, Tyler, and I'm going to go ahead and say that eHardcore wins the Upper League Championship. You may ask me why. Well, I think it's Johanna Curtis at point guard. I think she has a lot of great ball handling skills and just a depth of basketball knowledge to the team. And then you also have spot-up shooter Kara Reynolds. You have to account for she's tall, she'll go to the basket. They are a team to beat. They do have good coaching, and they've played together for a while, so there's a lot of team chemistry on this team that you have to account for when you get into tournament play. Well, that's all the time we have for our intramural segment today. We've given you predictions, we've given you standings, and now you get to have an idea of who we think might win the championships. Feel free to tweet us who you think might win the championship, and right now we're going to kick it out to Jackson and the Roundtable crew.
Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm Jackson Carter, and alongside me this week I have Katie Vaughn, Ugo Kalari, and Hunter Soper. This week we're going to be talking about wrestling and how it was just removed from the 2020 Olympics. Guys, what are your thoughts? Hunter, let's start with you.
Yeah, for me, that's completely fine. They have I have a direct quote from one of the IOC board members, and it says, "It's not what's wrong with wrestling, but it's what's right with the other 25 sports." So obviously, they have their minds somewhere else, and it's all about viewers and TV ratings for them.
You know, Hunter, I disagree. Wrestling's been a part of tradition at the Olympics. It's a big deal for them. It's a big deal for America in particular because of the fact that America's excelled in it. This is definitely a shot to America in the Olympics compared to the other countries in the world because they don't know how they're going to compete in all the other sports. And if you heard the other sports that are in there, there's ping pong in there. What do we want to do with ping pong?
Yeah.
So.
I think I've got to go right here with Ugo too. I mean, oldest sport in the Olympics, Greco-Roman wrestling, 1896, the very first one. And, you know, ping pong, a trampoline. Can we talk about how that's an Olympic sport here? Dressage, where we prance around horses. I really can't see how you can compare wrestling to any of these other sports.
But I don't think it's a valid argument to say that just because it was around in the original Olympics, it should still be around. Wrestling's not the only sport that has been cut since the beginning. Furthermore, if we're going to do things the way that wrestling or the way that the Olympics originally were, people would be competing naked.
Exactly. And along with that, they've gotten rid of events such as chariot racing. We don't see that anymore. We've got pankration, I believe I'm saying that right. That is kind of a mixed wrestling and boxing. And the Olympics is really moving towards a newer, better way, I'd say, just to get more members, or to get more viewers, rather. And so, I mean, out with the old, in with the new.
So you're saying that leaving ping pong and taking out wrestling brings more viewers?
It honestly, ping pong gets more viewers than wrestling, as strange as that might be. So it's.
I want to know who voted for this stuff. I mean, who's on the board? There was a secret panel that voted on these things. Mm-hmm. Who was on the board? Who voted for these things? And were there any actually wrestling fans that were involved in this? It seemed to have taken everybody that was a wrestling fan by surprise.
Right.
Oh, definitely. And just to go back to what I mean, ping pong, we're getting views. So is the Olympics going to become more of just like an entertainment value at this point? Are we straying away from what the ideals of sports are here? Or are we just going for views? Is the IOC really just becoming a business instead of just like this standard for athletic merit all over the world? I think if you take wrestling out, you're starting a downhill slide here. So, I mean.
But yes, the Olympics are interesting to watch, but no matter how we look at it, the IOC is a business. Everything is a business, and finances play a big part in that, and wrestling's just not getting the revenue that the other sports are.
That's the show for this week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @TheRundownOBU.
Tune in next week because we could be covering you. That's Jackson Carter. I'm Brandon Smith. Thanks for watching. This has been The Rundown.